This story starts in Makashkala, Dagestan, where a young Islam Makhachev grows up in the shadows of hardship, raised in poverty, but fueled by purpose. His dream? To become the greatest martial artist the world has ever seen. A champion not just by title, but by legacy. Half a world away, Perth, Western Australia, a kid named Jack Della Maddalena lives for rugby. At 14, he steps into a boxing gym, just to stay fit for rugby season. But something changes. He finds fire in his fists. A new path begins. We are about a month out of the Islam JDM fight, and I truly believe this is the most exciting and important fight this year, and also the most important fight in recent UFC history. Because think about it, when was there another time where so much was on the line? Islam fights to become the double champ, Jack fights to avenge Alexander Volkanovski. And honestly, when I look into the MMA community, I see that 50% of the fans think that Islam's gonna win, 50% think that Jack's gonna win, but no one has like a sure opinion about this fight, because both fighters are super capable. Jack Della Maddalena has great striking, he's fast, he's technical. Islam, one of the most technical fighters ever, great defense, great wrestling, great submissions. It's a fight of two truly great mixed martial artists. And this is a kind of fight where it's not about trash talking, it's about pure skill. Do you remember the time when Islam Makhachev fought Alexander Volkanovski? I think the first fight is one of the best fights ever, because you could just see real mixed martial artists be in their flow state and show the world what they can do, like what humans are actually capable of. And this is this kind of caliber fight, and I would even argue it's much more important, because if Islam manages to become double champ and win again against JDM, he is maybe one of the best or even the greatest of all time. Think about it. He has a great resume in the lightweight division, which is one of the most difficult divisions. It's not like John Jones beating like 40-year-old light heavyweights. No, it's the light heavyweight division. Like, they are actually skillful. And also, you gotta imagine that Islam Makhachev could become a double champion, which means he's champ in the welterweight and lightweight division. And the welterweight division is no joke neither. Look at JDM. He's a capable welterweight fighter. He's not bad, you know. He has great takedown defense. I think he is the hardest puzzle for Islam Makhachev. On the other side, if Jack manages to beat Islam Makhachev, I think he's top 10 greatest of all time easily, maybe even higher, because Islam has the lighter man skill, and he is honestly, I think right now he is pound for pound number one. I know he's not, but he should be, you know. I don't really agree that Ilia Topuria is the pound for pound number one. I think it should be Merab or Islam Makhachev. But anyway, this fight is in a month, and I cannot wait for this fight. It's one of these fights that people are gonna talk about for a long time, and it doesn't matter who wins. The fan base will be really enraged and happy at the same time, you know. I can imagine if Jack loses, the anti-Dagestan fan base and of course the real Jack Della Maddalena fan base is gonna be really upset. If Islam loses, it's a huge loss for one of the biggest fan bases, the Dagestani fan base, in MMA. So it's one of the best fights ever, and I really cannot wait for this fight, even I have like an international flight, and I rescheduled it just so I can watch this fight, and not be in a plane, because this is so important to me. Honestly, if I look at it, it's gonna be a super tough fight for both of them, and I'm not really sure who will win it. But to be honest, I would like Islam to win, and not because I'm just like a brainless Dagestani fanboy or something. I'm not even Dagestani, and I'm not Muslim, but I would like to see a new GOAT. I think it's super boring that always John Jones, GSP, DJ. I think this list is super outdated. I want to see a clear-cut GOAT, because imagine if Islam manages to become double champ, like he is the GOAT. And even if some people say, no, he needs to fight more, if he gets one more win in the welterweight division, he's the GOAT for sure, for everybody, Like, no one is doing that. No one. And I truly believe that this is like one of these fights that the MMA community is not gonna take lightly, Like, do you remember when Islam Makhachev beat Charles Oliveira? Even the subreddit of the UFC was shut down for a couple of days, because people were enraged that Charles lost. They had like this argument, yeah, I remember this one also, MMA Guru said it. They said like, yeah, Islam Makhachev doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve this shot. Of course, Oliveira's gonna win. And then Islam goes out and dominates Charles Oliveira. I mean, of course, they were not wrong. Beating, who did he beat? Bobby Green is not the conditional or normal way to get to a title. But to be honest, every other lightweight also lost at this point, so there was no one else. And he beat him in the end, so who cares, Yeah, but the thing is that this is a fight, it's really tough to call, and I would give Makhachev a slight edge, because I believe in the lighter weight skill, lighter man skill, and I believe that the takedowns of Islam are like a million times better than the takedowns of Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad is also an old guy, people forget that. It was a great fight with Belal, Jack against Belal, but he's an old guy, And if you look at it, Islam Makhachev is in his prime. The pound for pound number one right now. I see him winning, but I will be on the edge of my seat for this one. And I truly believe that the UFC managed to really have a great comeback, The beginning of the year was so boring. There were no great fights, nothing. But look what we got now. We got Merab fighting every other day, who is a great fighter. We got Aspinall is fighting next week. We got, of course, this fight, Islam against JDM. Great fight. And honestly, I also think JDM is way more dangerous for Islam than Ilya.